me just go right ahead and say it. The buhlungs don't pal betunana. They don't. Like, they don't. You just get better at dealing with it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again. My name is Mushe Mayatula. If it is your first time tuning in, I do hope you enjoy the content that I do put out here. It's a little bit of everything and a little bit of nothing at the same time. That's just it. I actually wanted to show you guys my glasses, but I'm afraid the ring light is going to reflect on them. But I got glasses now. I'm not blind anymore. I'm using my camera for the first time. This is a camera I bought last year June, literally last year this time, and when I was intending to start this channel, and yeah, life just came at me, so that didn't happen. And the reason I've also never used it this side since I started the channel was because I left my charger at home. So I bought a charger recently. This weekend I was listening to Tato Mbosi's podcast, and that just, she's a brilliant, you know, speaker. Generally, like, I used to listen to the Dow podcast as well. So she started a podcast called Not That You Asked, but I think that's what it's called. And then I was like, oh, I have so many other people who have podcasts that I need to listen to and I need to catch up on, and so forth and so on. The reason why I'm not so big on podcasts is because I struggle to concentrate, and I feel like they're very demanding. Well, that's how I felt. And I'm really in the mood for anything serious. If you know me, half of the time I'm watching movies, half of the time I'm watching series. Like, I'm not trying to think. I avoid it at all costs. It's very bad. I really, like, I'm not trying, you know, you're not trying to do that. But I was like, since I'm on this high of like caring and wanting to know more and wanting to be calm, because like when I listened to Tato, I was like, oh my gosh, wow, why have I never really just tuned into people talking? So then I caught up on the Anime podcast. What's funny about the Anime is that I've actually featured on the Anime, and I still haven't listened to the podcast because I feel so insecure about my speaking and how much I make sense at some points in my life. I usually like have what's this thing? I usually when I'm talking to people, especially like on platforms like that, it's weirdly always at like times in my life where like life is shambles, you know. So by the time the thing gets released and I'm fine again, I'm just like, what did I say? You know, and I'm so nervous, and I'm like, yo, I probably spewed nonsense half the time, and I'm very like insecure about, you know, my intelligence sometimes and my speaking sense. Did I even say anything that is worth hearing? So it was very affirming to hear Nkuli mention in a couple of the podcasts that I listened to, maybe two, how the podcast with me went so well, and I was like, what? So I'm very excited to give that a listen soon. I was listening to the Reflections episode of the Anime later last night, and it helped. Like, I went through, and I mean, I guess just there's a series of events or the series of things that I listened to over the weekend that helped me get to this point of wanting to discuss this, something that I thought I wouldn't want to discuss. So it was first listening to Tato talk about like, yo, if you think it, do it. And then, you know, really just being like, yo, reflections. And I was like, yay, okay. Yo, guys, 2020. Yes. So I've been here for 7 months. I've been in Korea for 7 months. I came to Korea to find myself and to just breathe. Has it been bad? No. been go after go, and you realize that you just can't run away from go. I have managed to manage some of my go. A lot of my go is financial insecurity. Like, that was one of the main things for me, or so I thought, or so I think. And so when that one department as well, it's easier for me to deal and dabble in the other things and other issues in my life, you know. So you think. So I've been here for 7 months and it hasn't been la-di-da. And I remember when I hit the 6-month mark, I was like, we're not gonna do a video of reflections, we're not like, babes, you've gone through the most, you know. Do I have anything to say except for the fact that I have a job and I have a stable income? No. So I was reflecting yesterday and I was looking at the things that I can be grateful for, which is very difficult for me as umtokowayo. Like, it's very difficult for me to sit down and be like, what's good? Because in my goal, I'm not trying to see what's good. Everything is bad. Everything is very bad. Like, it's shambles. Okay, so finally I was like, let's consider, especially when you're in a good space. When I'm in a good space, which is very short period of time, I try to do as much as possible. I try to speak as much as possible. I try to show up as much as possible, because I know there'll be a time when I'm unable to do those things that I would like to do. If I'm not okay, it's just hard to do those things, you know what I'm saying? Last week particularly was hell. I did not want to wake up. I did not want to show up. I didn't want to participate. It had been a long time since I felt like that. Like, I haven't been particularly great in the last few months, but I've been in and out of Ngo. But last week it felt like, oh, yeah, it was a lot, you know. It was heavy. My time in Korea has generally been a shit show with glimpses of happiness. Yeah, Go is universal, let me tell you that. The one good thing that has come out of the past few months, if you know me and if you've known me for years, like, this has just been me. Like, I was a Jesus freak. When I got depressed, I just let it all go. It's like, this is a shit show. Like, this is bull, you know. Yay. I'm still struggling, I won't lie. I'm still struggling to come back. I've tried to come back quite a couple of times over the last few years, and there's just always something. There's just, you know. And finally, now that, like, I'm far away from home, I can't really dabble in distractions. Like, you know, the distractions aren't working. You don't have someone to always talk to, unfortunately. Like, people, during a pandemic, you can't really talk as much as you used to. Like, I think the one way I used to deal with things was constantly being in communication with loved ones about what I'm going through. And now that everyone is going through the most, it's hard to offload onto people. It's hard to share what you're going through, because everyone's going through something, you know. And I was like, I need someone to talk to. I need someone to cry to. I need someone to a constant person that I don't have to inquire whether or not they're fine. I don't have to figure out, like, is this a good time or not. And I think that's a very dangerous hole I fell into over the years, like, trying to find God in people, being comforted, given love, given support in it with that level of magnitude that I required it in. was very unfair. It was a very unfair expectation I put on people, and I will obviously expand on that in another video. But basically, reflection wise, I found God again a little bit, and my friends and I started reading the Bible together. It's been hard. So we've been starting off very slowly, very slowly. Like, I haven't been, and again, like I've mentioned, it's not the first time I tried to come back. So we've just been dabbling in reading plans that address some of the things that we are struggling with. I still haven't really got around praying. I'm still struggling to open my mouth and say yay. I am struggling to do that. Why am I struggling? Hey man, you know, when you have essentially just cancelled someone, it's hard to just come back. It's hard to just open up again. I feel that's what happened. Like, I closed myself off guard so much that I was just, by the time I had to come back and now I have to talk to him, it's just like, I'm not ready. And it's been good though. Like, I haven't been able to pray necessarily, but now I've started short prayers, very short prayers. But in the beginning, it was just me telling God how tired I am. I'd just be like, I'm tired, and I'd start whining. Not whining actual words, I'd just start crying. I'm just like, Lord, I'm tired. Yeah, there was a big disconnection from me and God. There was a huge disconnection. I cut him off almost completely. And I don't know if it's in James, but there's a verse in the Bible that says, come near me. Oh, wait, let me find my phone. But it says something about God coming to you when you come to him. James 4 verse 8. Okay, yeah. Come near to God and he will come near to you. I think that's what I'm going through now. Like, the more I, the more I try to come near to him, the more I am seeing him again in my life. And I think what's helping is that I'm not trying too hard. I'm not going about it the way I usually try to. Like, I try to do the most. I try to like transform in like a night, overnight, because I can't stand the fact that I've come so far, like in my relationship with God in the past, that I'm having to start over. I'm like, why are we starting over, bro? I know you. And he's like, yo, you've unknown me. And I'm like, oh, this is feeling very frustrating. I think what I'm very happy about in the last few months, what has recently come out in the last 2 weeks, I've been dreaming again. So when I'm in Mamgo, which is a very majority of the past few years, I struggle to see the future. I struggle to see past the now. I don't want to be part of what is to come. And I'm beginning to be hopeful again. I'm dreaming again, which is big. That has only happened literally like izolelini. But we are grateful nonetheless that we're not in a very dark hole anymore. Like, guys, I didn't see myself coming out. I mean, even now, like, of course we're rejoicing, but I mean, how many times have you rejoiced that you're out of a hole and then you go right back? So if you see me next week, go wishing, please I need to talk about how I've had this journal from 2015, which is embarrassing. I used to journal a lot. That's how I survived high school. Like, high school was a very glowy period in my life, and journaling saved me from a lot, and then, like, when I started go wishing in 2016, I kind of stopped journaling. So I got this late 2015, and then like 2016 was just shambles. I'm just gonna read some of the things that I jotted down yesterday while I was listening to Nkuli talk about his reflections, and you know, just share them with you, because I feel like this is for all of us. Okay, I'm kidding. This is just obviously for people who've seen me in my rut or who've seen me quiet. Like, if you guys see me quiet on this channel, you must know go. So I wrote that I am not happy. I am still very unhappy, but I'm happier, if that even makes sense. Or maybe the correct term is that I'm less sad. Yes, I'm less sad. I am dreaming. These are all the things again. Like, for every statement that I say, just add again for most of them. I'm dreaming again. I believe in God. I am more gentle and forgiving. I'm sharing myself again. I'm interested in things. Yeah. I allow myself to interrogate my thoughts. I'm becoming confident. I'm finally feeling alive and not merely existing. I am less angry. So sorry guys, my battery died. Anyway, I was, you know, wrapping it up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you like our change of venue. I feel more comfortable. I feel like more chatty as well. Please do like, comment and subscribe. I would like to hear in the comments like just what you thought of the video, which parts you might or might not relate to. Please also share this video, please. Big. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again. See you next time. Goodbye.